Sorry, Pies, I didn't cut you off when you was talking. Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV. Hope you guys are well. Had a great weekend as well. Make sure that you just smashing the like button, guys. Let's make sure we get both of these channels over the 200 likes marks as well, please. Please share on your socials as well. Let people know that we're live. We have got Pies joining us today. Today we're just going to sit and go through the overall news that we know up to this point in and around Kounde, Kimpembe, Azpilicueta, Colwill. We're also going to talk a little bit about the game yesterday as well. Chelsea winning 2-1 there. So lots to get into and chill on this nice Sunday evening. I say it's nice Sunday. It's hot, man. It's hot, really hot. But we'll introduce Pies in a second. But guys, before we move forward, let's cue the intro. Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV and welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV also. I hope you guys have had a lovely, lovely day. We have CFC Pies back with us again. Pies, how are we doing, mate?
Doing all right, bro. Yeah, Chelsea's first game last night, or I guess you could say today, depending on the time zones you were in. But yeah, I was up late, 3 a.m. kickoff for me. Went to bed about 5:30. Luckily, I didn't have anything to do today, so that's the reason why I stayed up. But yeah, it was a decent game, and obviously expecting more transfer news from tomorrow onwards, I guess.
Well, we're going to get into all of that. And like you said there, I mean, it's definitely going to be an interesting week, especially for Chelsea in the central back sagas at the moment. We know Kounde and Kimpembe are the two players that are being heavily linked with Chelsea doing business with. Some feel we'll be getting both. Some others feel it will be either or. We're going to be talking a bit later on in the show about that as well. But make sure, guys, like I said, we're smashing the likes. Let's say hello to everyone that's in the chat already as well. We've got M3 Sosa, Texas. Big up to you, football star. Gary, nice to see you, bro, as well. Who else we got here? Zach, nice to see you as well. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I mean, these Spanish journo sources are funny, man. Some of them, most of them, but we'll get into that. Big up to Zach. Big up to Neo. Big up to Dinishan. Big up to Daniel. Big up to Erin, bro. Nice to see you. Jose, big up to you. Kai, what's going on, bro? Or is that not Kai? That is Marshall. Big up to you. Make sure you check out KH No Filter Football as well, guys. Nice to see you in the house. Dills, nice to see you, brother. Big up Jim Kounde. Must. Well, it is. And we're going to be talking about him a bit later on in the show as well. Some people have been tagging me non-stop since the Kounde news has come alive again. You know, they know that I'm very keen on the player. I am. I'm very keen on him coming along. But still a long way to go in this window. Hassan, nice to see you, brother. Hope you're well. Matthew as well. Yeah, I mean, let's get into it, innit? Because there is obviously a couple of topics worth discussing today. And we will start off with the one sitting around Azpilicueta. Because obviously we had this comment here saying that Barcelona plan to make an offer for Chelsea Cesar Azpilicueta in the next coming days. I read another tweet today saying it was coming hours. Sort of mixed sort of responses and feedbacks that we're getting at the moment. Some people feel that Azpilicueta will stay. Some feel that he may go. Some feel that it just depends on the arrivals of the Koundes or the Kimpembes or etc. etc. Pies, what's your thoughts on this, mates? Do you think it's going to be Azpilicueta leaving Chelsea this season, or do you think that Tuchel might hold on to him for another season?
I think Tuchel wants to keep hold of him. But I do think he's going to leave. I think there's been multiple reports now that they will allow him to leave depending on defensive acquisitions. So, yeah, I do expect him to leave. I mean, even last night, to be honest with you, I know it's first game back, but he just looks like such an old dog now. Like, he's kind of just, you know what I mean? He was huffing and puffing and, like, it's kind of mad how, I don't know, I just feel like he needs to leave. I thought that last season and the season before, to be honest, but you know, it is going to be a sad day when he leaves. He's been an incredible servant, but yeah, you could argue that the dressing room, you know, does need a bit more of a boost with Rudiger leaving. But now you've got Koulibaly, Jorginho, Mendy, and also especially if we sign Kimpembe, I'm not sure he's permanent France captain, but he is a captain for France. I know that, and PSG sometimes. So we are bringing a lot of leaders in, which may give you sort of, you know, less excuse, I guess, to keep Azpi around. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, my thoughts on this one is pretty clear. I think I agree with what Pies is saying. I do feel that he's been a great servant for Chelsea. However, I do feel that the decline is each and every year is quite evident. You know, it seems like his dream is to go back to Spain, play out his days there, which he deserves for everything that he's done at this football club, for everything that he's done for Chelsea. I think Azpilicueta has been a great servant. For me, I think he goes. I think Gary Neville actually said a couple seasons ago, and has done for a while. He's been very consistent with it, but he's always said that he feels that Azpilicueta is probably one of the best or the best defenders, one-on-one, just standing up, like standing off people. Not like being rash and sliding in, but just one-on-one, standing up and making the right tackles at the right times. He's been so good for Chelsea. Ultimately, so consistent with his performances. He was always dropping like 7s and 8s, and it's just that you look at last season and you could just see that he. Like what Pi said there, he's puffing. He doesn't look the player he used to be anymore. And ultimately, Chelsea just need to look forward. And if we're going to be looking forward, we have to look at decisions like this with Azpilicueta. Why I agree that it's important to try and keep experience and leadership qualities and whatever else. I think if we can bring in players that already have that, like we have done with Koulibaly at 31 years old, and we know he's going to be a vital figure in this team, then there's no real reason why we can't allow someone like Azpilicueta to move on with him, move on to Barcelona. It seems like Barcelona are keen. And the other thing to it, though, Pies, is what I think as well, is that I feel that if Barcelona do get Azpilicueta, and we do agree with them on that, I think that does actually kind of close the door more so on Kounde. What do you think?
If Barca get Azpilicueta?
Yeah, with the Kounde thing. Do you think that will be more of a thing of that they think, well, we've got... Or do you think they still
No, because they want to play him right back, right? So they want Kounde as the centre back with Araujo, I believe that the reports are. So yeah, no, Barca are really, really keen on Kounde. Fabrizio said earlier on today in his video that he's now their top target. They want to be fast because Chelsea have restarted contacts. They're exploring Kounde, but I know Barca's economic lever comes in next week. So I mean, to be honest with you, I have a gut feeling on what's going to happen. I know you won't like it, but I do have a gut feeling that he will go to Barca.
We'll save it because we're going to get to Kounde anyway. Yeah. So I want to know. I want to know your thoughts on that, but we'll get into that a bit later once we get into our Kounde topics as well. But yeah, no, I think he does go, but then again, it just depends on what sort of business we do. At the end of the day, I don't think Tuchel will want to lose someone in a position if we've not got the players in that we need in that position. And why I feel that he could maybe be squad depth and rotation, I could probably accept that. I don't feel that he's going to want that himself. I think if he goes to Barcelona, and by the sounds of it, Xavi wants him there starting, then obviously he's going to go Barca knowing he's going to get the game time. So, it makes sense from many ways if Azpilicueta does leave Chelsea. And it could be as early as next week. Apparently, it could be next couple of days that we see that as well. Big up to RD in the house. Nice to see everyone else. There's over 320 of you here, 8 minutes in. Big up to every single one of you guys. But make sure we get them likes up, please. Let's get the likes up on both of the channels. Only 40 likes on GNA TV, and there's over 120 of you there already. So let's get that up to 100 likes, please, guys, as quickly as possible. And the Chelsea Fan TV, so we've got 187 of you there. So let's try and get the likes over 100 as quickly as possible, guys, as well. Later in the show, we'll give you the opportunity to get your questions in. Super chats are priorities. So if you do put in a super chat either on GNA TV or Chelsea Fan TV, it will be flagged, and then we will answer that question for you, or Pies, if it's for Pies, intentionally, then Pies can answer that question for you later in the show as well, guys. So big up to every single one of yous. All right, let's move away from Azpilicueta, and let's talk quickly about the news around Colwill and the news that we've heard today in and around Colwill, because it seems like there is a slight meltdown again on on Twitter with this as well. So I can't even see if that's his name. Oh, that's not the one. Oh, here we go again. This is going to be fun. There we go. Yeah, we'll start this one. So, Pies, obviously, Colwill apparently he's looking to leave Chelsea. And he basically says Liverpool will look to leave Chelsea should Chelsea even add one more defender. Now, when I first read that, I was a little bit shocked, and I just thought to myself, why would he want to leave if we get one more defender? And then obviously there's some more comments down to say from yourself that says it thought Crystal Palace are confident Others in the hunt include Fulham, Everton, Leicester, Brighton, and Southampton. Colwill and his camp exploring many options. Chelsea working on Kimpembe and Kounde is obviously what via Fabrizio Romano said as well, which is what I was trying to find originally, which I could have up there. But what's your thoughts on this sort of news around him? Because I feel like, again, the fan base is split between, you've got some that are like Cobham and they want every academy player to be given the opportunity and maybe potentially be given a chance to be a part of this squad. Some others feel, well, if you don't want to hang around and you don't want to fight for your place, then, go sort of thing. Where do you stand with it, mate?
Yeah, I'm a bit conflicted, to be honest with you. I do think he should stay and fight for his space, especially because, in my opinion, there's definitely more of a pathway than he seems to believe. But yeah, I mean, I was told weeks ago this was a huge possibility that he could leave. He wants regular first team minutes. And when the Athletic, who are a club mouthpiece, put stuff like this out, it's usually true, probably from his camp or um, maybe even Colwill himself. I'm not sure, but yeah, I mean, to be honest with you though, Jim, it doesn't really add up for me because I was looking through the numbers the other day and who I expect to stay in. Um, I'll just quickly say it now. I was thinking. So say we sign Kimpembe for left centre back. You have Silver in the middle, Koulibaly on the right. Okay, let's just say that. Then you'd
Yeah.
have for backups, you'd have Colwill on the left. You'd have
Yeah.
Ampadu in the middle as Silva's backup, and then Chalobah as the right centre back backup / Reese. Okay,
Right.
I think Saar would leave, and that means Azpi goes. Okay, now I think that's very realistic. Colwill will still get a lot of games. Kimpembe will be the starter, but Colwill will still get games. He will still get minutes, but yeah, I think it makes perfect sense for him to stay. But I'm not really sure why he wants to leave if we even had one more defender. Clearly he wants to be a starter and he wants guaranteed first team minutes, which he's not going to get here. But I still think he should stay and fight for his place, like Ampadu and Chalobah are doing. You saw Chalobah last season. People didn't really think Chalobah was going to play much. He stayed, and then he played much more than he thought he was going to. So, for me, your performance can dictate everything. And you know, I think he should stay. But again, it's not my choice; it's his choice. And Chelsea can easily get 25 to 30 million with him. And I just hope we put a buyback on him if he does leave.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I actually agree with most of what you say when it comes to it. When I first saw this earlier on, kind of just made me feel a bit, well, it doesn't make sense. Like what you said, there's obviously got to be an opportunity there. Tuchel's made it very clear as well that they will be given the opportunity. It's just going to be down to them to show and prove that. Obviously, we've got this comment from Fabrizio Romano saying Colwill and his camp exploring options with many proposals on the table. As reported 3 days ago, the plan has not changed. He could leave Chelsea in case 2 centre-backs arrive after Koulibaly, as expected. So he's saying there after 2 centre-backs. So is he saying 2 more on top of Koulibaly? Is that what he means, or just 1 more? That's what I'm trying to
Two
understand.
more. So yeah, the reporting has been that Chelsea obviously want Kimpembe and Kounde. Now, can that happen? Yes, absolutely. If we put the money down, do I think it will happen? No, I think we'll probably get one. But we'll see. I think it becomes a little bit more complicated if we get Kimpembe and Kounde because then you've bought 3 starting centre backs, and that would allow Silva to rest a bit more. But even then, I mean, you've still got, say, Ampadu stays. You've still got, Ampadu or Colwill to pick from to stay as a left centre back or something backup. So yeah, I don't know why he's rushing, to be honest. I think he should just wait it out. But again, I'm not him. His camp will want clarity. He's got family around him, and of course, the main thing is that these youth guys have seen, the likes of Gay, the likes of Tamori, people like that, that have gone out. Tammy Abraham, Livramento, that have just leaving Chelsea is not necessarily a step back. It could be the making of a player. So, yeah.
100%, 100%. And, this is the one that probably got me a bit more. But then again, I think we have to just take a step back. I know so many people get very emotional when they see comments like this. And to be honest, it's thought Levi Cole was hoping to emulate Trevor Chalobah and take responsibility. But with Tuchel signing players in his position, it is increasingly likely he will be playing somewhere else. And that was obviously from Simon Johnson. And it goes on also to say that Chelsea will have to sell some players to balance the books and comply with FIFA, the FFP. A similar amount of around 89 million that Chelsea made by selling Tamori, Tammy, and Mark Gay could be made by selling Colwill, Broha, and Andrew.
I was, no, I was just going to say.
That's athletic, isn't it, as well?
I was just going to say, first off, I'm not sure on that second bit of reporting. There is a lot of financial accounts and stuff that have said that Chelsea are very, very good in the books and things like that. But so I'm not sure where he's got information from. But yeah, even if I don't think we'd get that amount. Maybe perhaps 70 million, but not 89. I don't think anyway. I don't know if Chelsea have to sell, some players to balance the books, but it's the reporting in it, so I have to include it.
My opinions on it is pretty much there. Actually, I commented.
Yeah, I saw it.
I actually commented back on it as well, and my thought straight away was that when you're an academy player and you come through into this Chelsea, you get the opportunity to play pre-season with the first team for Chelsea. It's down to you to take your opportunity. What I didn't like from the comment earlier, whether it's true and he said it or it's been made up and whatever, the fact where he's kind of used Trevor Chalobah as an example and said where he's just sort of had an open invite to sort of walk into the team. Yeah, but we were lacking so much squad depth. We're in a position now where we've got people back, and Tuchel can now build. He can choose from the options he's got and strengthen the areas that we have with the potential of Lebanese, with the potential of maybe academies, or if not, the signing of players. And every player that plays for this football club, doesn't matter who it is, should always have the attitude of wanting to fight for their spot, fight for their position. There is not one player that should be walking into this team thinking that they're Don Juan and that they should be, given games time straight away because they think they're this good. Go out there and show yourself and prove it. Now, if you don't want to do that because you don't feel that you don't feel that you're going to get the opportunities or the game time that you want, which may be a lot more than what Tuchel's offering you, and you go, then that's on you. So the fan base on Twitter, who then get really angry with Tuchel and everyone else about Colwill, which is going to happen if he does leave, need to try and think about that. It's not always Tuchel's fault because players leave to a degree. Tuchel could have turned around and said to him, look, you're a part, like Pi said, he worked it out. You are a part of this team. You will be part of rotation. You may obviously not be starting. You're still young, but you've got a good opportunity to learn from the likes of Koulibaly, Thiago Silva. I'm looking to maybe bring in Kimpembe and Kounde as well. There's another experience there for you as a youngster to go and obtain from. You ain't going to get learning from them type of players. I would grab it. I wouldn't even be thinking about or entertaining any other clubs. Yeah, I wouldn't. I would want to learn from the best. I'd be like, this is my opportunity. Silva's not going to be around for long. Koulibaly's 31. You're right, he's going to be here for a couple of years. Don't get me wrong, but he's not that in his prime 20s anymore. Azpilicueta's leaving. Trevor Chalobah's, young and sitting there and getting on with it and whatever else and waiting and taking his chances as it comes along, as doing his thing. There's an opportunity there for the guy. But if his mentality is not to wait and not to learn and not to just, take your chances when they come across because he feels that he should just be, walking in, then he needs to go. I don't care if it's Levi Colwill or whoever it is. You don't have that attitude. Our old squads players, when you looked at the old Chelsea squads, we had strength and depth in every position. I remember a midfield where we had Makelele, Lampard, Essien, Mikel, Ballack and Deco. Do you know what I mean? We had that, squad depth is so important and fighting for your positions are so important. It makes you better as a player. And Chelsea Football Club's one of the biggest clubs in the world. You're not just going to just roll up and think you can just walk into teams. And, that's what frustrates me. And it might be the case that his mentality is not that. Maybe his mentality is the opposite. And maybe we're just getting force-fed some news that ain't really that true. Or maybe he just feels like what Simon Phillips said earlier on, not to look into it too much. He's still sticking with the same answer that we were told a week ago, where it was I'm just waiting to see who Chelsea sign. So if Chelsea bring in Kounde and Kimpembe, then fair enough. I'm not going to get the chances, dependent on who goes. All right, Malang Sarr, Azpilicueta goes, whatever, So I don't know, mate. I'm a little bit, I don't know, what's the word? Displeased with these comments. He should want to fight and be a part of this team and earn his place. Do you know what I mean? Moving forward. But I don't know, mate. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with some of these players. Looking at the players that have came back, the loanies and the academies players, who do you think, it's still early to call, but who do you think actually has a good chance of actually staying in this squad from what you saw yesterday?
I'd certainly say Ampadu. What I found really interesting was that, I posted a quote about what Tuchel said about Ampadu, but he actually went a bit further as well. He was talking about how he was, doing vertical passes, and he kind of gained like a really tactical lowdown. And then for Gallagher, he just said it was a good start for Gallagher. His intensity could be good for us. And I was just thinking, like, the difference between that quote, like, he really thought about Ampadu's game. And I thought Ampadu, Mount, and Gallagher were probably our best players yesterday, in my
Mm.
opinion. And it just goes to show again, like, these Cobham guys, like, for me, I don't think Gallagher's a perfect six option, to be honest with you. I still have some reservations under him on the ball under pressure. I think we saw that in the game yesterday as well. He did a few sort of drop of the shoulders and got away sometimes. Other times, he got pressured once and passed the ball straight off the pitch. So it was a little bit inconsistent, but it was a good start. I'd just like to see him, going forward, if he is going to be an option in that position. I want to see him against Arsenal, to be honest. I want to see him against better opposition that are going to chase and pressure, and you have to defend more and track back and things like that. So yeah, but Gallagher and Ampadu should stay as the comment says there. I do agree, to be honest. I really really like Ampadu's mentality as well. Like, he said,
Mm.
I just want to stay wherever Tuchel wants me to play. I'll play there, and I
That's the
think
attitude, though. That's the attitude, though, isn't it?
yeah,
Right? That's what you
but
want.
yeah, the thing is with Ampadu now, though, is he's had quite a few loans, so he's more mature, he's more experienced, he's got experience under his belt. I think he played second centre back for Leipzig as well. I always remember a performance against Tottenham in the Champions League, he was really really good there. And that was what, 2 or 3 years ago. Didn't have a
Mm.
great loan at Sheffield, had a good loan last season, so it might be his time now. It might be. He could easily be Silva's backup or anywhere, to be honest. He could play midfield. I think he could even play wing back, to be honest with you, mate. He's really, really good on the ball, Ampadu. And I saw this last night. He just looked so like he's 21. I don't know what it was. He just looked so like he took
Calm.
authority. Yeah, he was
Mm.
calm. But that's because I keep saying he's had so many loans. He's so young, but he's had so many different loans in so many different countries that he's going to be like that because he's seen. He's played against different players. He's played in different leagues and different climates and things like that. So yeah, he looks like an absolute stay for me, and just the fact that Tuchel give him that extra sort of, I don't know, like he talked about him a bit longer, and he was really going into what he did well. I think that's good signs for him.
Guys, there's over 600 of you here, 20 minutes in. Big up to every single one of you guys, as always. Make sure that we're smashing the likes buttons on Chelsea Fan TV and on GNA TV. Let's close that gap to 200 likes, people. Let's get that done. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell button, because the bell button will let you guys know when we are going live as well. Just quickly flying back to the Colwill scenario. Obviously, Bobby's saying here, very disappointed in the attitude of Colwill, if this is true. You can't just walk into the team at 19 years with no experience. Looks like sell with buyback clause. Do you feel that with the whole Colwill thing that there might be some sort of tactics towards this also? Because, and when I say tactic, I'm talking about the agent. It could just be more of an agent sort of pushing pushing their player out, sort of name out into the wind, or could it also be Chelsea trying to force a bit more money for the player, if that makes sense? Like what are your thoughts on Colwill and the potentials of maybe like it could, his agent, for example, maybe just trying to get the player out there a bit more so they can sell him for more.
Maybe, yeah. I think it's not just like one report though. Like we've had multiple people saying, he could potentially leave, and I think he will leave in the end, just because, like you said, some players are happy to be like an Ampadu, be a Gallagher. They just want to play for Chelsea. They'll play in any position. They'll fight to get in the team, like a Chalobah. And then other players, you have to think of family and stuff as well. Like there was reports when Broja was at Southampton. Actually, not even reports. I think one of his family members said, "Look, Broja's doing really well here. We want him to actually stay now." So it's also, you got to think about outside influences on these players. They're still young. They get told a lot of different things, like you should do this. You should. Oh, look who Chelsea are signing here. Look, you might not get enough game time. There's probably a lot of things going around in his head. And yeah, this reporting just doesn't really help either, because it will get fans' backs up. So yeah, I don't know. It's hard to really give an opinion on this situation, to be honest, because I can see both sides of the story.
Yes, you can, Jacob 2501. Big up to you. He said, "Can I have a shout out?" Yep. There's your shout out, my man. Kimpembe for 50 million is a steal. We're going to get to Kounde and Kimpembe news next. But yeah, the Colwill one's going to be interesting. Obviously, it's going to fall it's literally going to be down to what happens next week. Next week for me is a big week because I do feel that there's going to be some deadlines, and obviously one of the players that went quiet and then all of a sudden is come back into the limelight again is Jules Kounde. Jules Kounde would be keen to join Barcelona, and Barcelona want to move fast because Chelsea are preparing new discussions with the agent and are considering him again. Kounde knows Xavi considers him the perfect centre-back for Barca. That was via Fabrizio Romano. There's also some other tweets that said Chelsea trying to sign Kimpembe and we'll know more in the coming days. Kounde in Barca's top target right now. Obviously, Luis Campos is a replacement for Kimpembe if he leaves as well, is what we've got here. But there's also been some other comments. I feel very well. I'm going to stick to the Kounde before we get into the Kimpembe one, Pies. But with the Kounde one, obviously, it's come alive again because Nathan Ake is, staying at Man City. And it seems like the only two options Chelsea have got now is trying to lure Kimpembe or getting Kounde in. And it's been, for me, it's been a quite mixed. It's been like sort of a mixed feel. Like we all know that Chelsea are talking to him again and whatever else, but some feel that Barcelona are on the driving seat and that that the announcement could happen soon. Some others on the other side of it think that he's actually going to agree with Chelsea, and Chelsea are going to lay the 60 million or whatever it is that's required to get him, and that could be done as early as next week. How do you feel looking at this whole Jules Kounde saga thing? Do you feel Chelsea could get this done, or do you feel different towards it?
I have my own opinion. I feel like we've left it too late. I feel like Barca coming in now. Not sure the reliability of the reports, but a lot of people are saying he's settled in Spain, and Barca have come in, and the lever's being activated next week. He'd rather stay in Spain. He's settled in Spain, and people are like, well, he's had agreement with Chelsea. Yeah, but Chelsea were the only team in for him strongly last summer. If there's Barcelona on the table, we've seen already what's happened. People want to play for Barcelona. If it comes down to a decision between the two, I do think he picks Barcelona, to be honest with you. He will, bro. He will. I'm telling you now, he will. He won't pick Chelsea. I can tell you that
Why?
now.
Why?
He
Why are you
just won't. He's settled in Spain. He doesn't have to move. Barca are a bigger club. They're not a better club than us right now, but they're a bigger club. It's probably his childhood dream.
I disagree.
I don't think the only reason I think he was so intent on moving to Chelsea was because we was really the only club in for him. And also the other reason why I say this is because we've left him hanging too long. This is the perfect opportunity for him to go, well, you know what? You didn't really show me that intent this summer. You want me now? Nope, sorry, I'm off to Barcelona. It's a
Yeah,
kick
I
in the
hear that.
face to us.
I hear that.
I feel like that's what's going to happen. I hope I'm proved wrong. I would like him, but at the same time, I still only think we need one centre back. And from all the reporting and everything else, it seems like Tuchel is. Well, we all know
So let me
Tuchel's a
ask
massive
you.
fan of Kimpembe.
You're Tuchel. You're Tuchel. You can have Kimpembe or Kounde. Who are you having?
If I'm Tuchel, then I would choose Kimpembe because that's Tuchel's guy. You know what I mean? Tuchel's going to pick
All
him
right,
over Kounde.
Richard. Then, if it's you, if you had to choose for your preference, not Tuchel's preference.
This is difficult because it's difficult for two reasons. Because if you pick Kounde, then Koulibaly would go to a left centre back. But if you pick Kimpembe, then you've got someone that already knows the manager, knows the system, knows the way of starting to play. Um, I don't know who would be better in a back four. I think they're both pretty good. Kimpembe is more of a leader. Obviously, he's been captain and things like that. He's more experienced. He's older. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's
You
it's
don't
very,
have
very
to say.
close.
You don't have to
No,
say
I'm
Kounde because I'm sitting here. You know that.
no,
But
no. I really like Kounde. I've wanted him for a while. It's just that I think buying Koulibaly's changed things for me, bro. Like I don't know. It's made it a lot more closer. I have to think about where people would play in the system, and also I think if you buy obviously Kimpembe, then I'm just looking at that right centre back side with Koulibaly, Reece James. Like people are just going to play the opposite direction if they face that. It's just two tanks, bro. Like I don't know.
yeah.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say.
See, I feel that he does want Chelsea, and there has been quotes saying that if Chelsea do come for him, he will go Chelsea. I think he wants the challenge of a different league. He's played in a league of the last 2 seasons, and I think Chelsea is very appealing to him.
I've
He was
left him
in.
hanging though, bro.
No, I agree with that, but he's been in London. He was in London months ago, wasn't he? And that's when we assumed that maybe this was where it's going to be the done deal, and that it was whatever, it's going to be sorted in the backgrounds. But you're right. We have kind of left him in the list of things, and if he's looking at it going, well, you're coming to me now because you didn't get Ake, Kimpembe doesn't want to leave, and I'm sort of like your third, fourth choice. Why would I want to come? Like, it just shows me that you don't think I'm as good as you think I am, which we could be wrong. Let's be serious. It could be the case that we've been trying all this time, even when it had gone quiet, which I think could have probably been the case. Sevilla are an arse to deal with anyway, bro. You know this. Look what they did last year. Like, they're not easy. They're an easy club to deal with. These guys are trying to squeeze every little penny out of us, but at the same time trying to sort out their own transfer window. But it just falls down to this to me, Pies, and this is the way I look at it with Jules Kounde. Everyone knows what and how I feel about this player. I think this player is perfectly suited for Chelsea. I think he perfectly suits the system, the Tuchel system, in the way that we play. I also think that Tuchel, the manager, would get the best out of him. I think he's a top player, but I don't think he's finished yet.
You could say that. Well, no. I memean, you would say that about Kimpembe. Like, his best form was under Tuchel.
Yeah, fine. No. But again, I'm talking about. We'll talk about Kimpembe. Don't worry. We'll get to him. But in terms of the Kounde side of it, like, I do look. If we lay the money, if this week we find out that we lay 50 or 55 million, he's coming Chelsea. I don't think.
What happens if Barca do the same?
They're not, but they can't. You already know from the
Rafinha.
Rafinha.
They can do the same next week. They've got a new lever, which is based on transfers.
They've got to wait for their financial lever to kick in. This is why if I'm Chelsea right now, I go and get the bid in this tomorrow, Tuesday, before they can even do anything. Because once they've done that, we've acted.
Well, I don't know, because if you think about from a negotiation point of view, Monchi's going to want a bidding war. He's going to want an auction. That's only natural. So even if we bid today, tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, it doesn't really matter. They'll wait for Barca to bid because Barca are bidding.
The guys already got personal terms agreed with both of us. So all but Sevilla want is us to someone to meet the number for him.
But if there's two clubs in, if there's 2 clubs in, bro, they're still going to want an auction. It's only natural. They'll try and squeeze it's Monchi. They'll try and squeeze everything out of it. Like, it's not going to happen quick, in my opinion. If both of us bid, it won't happen quick. Even if we bid, there'll be a period of Monchi talking to Barca. Are you going to bid? When are you going to bid? Chelsea have bid. And if Barca do that, it'll be the same to us. They'll probably contact Todd Bowley saying, "Look, are you going to bid? This is what they've bid." So they'll want an auction at the end of the day. And to be honest, for me,
go on.
No, I was just going to say, for me, our priority at the moment looks to be Presnel Kimpembe, because that is who the manager wants. He wants Kimpembe at Chelsea.
But does Kimpembe want to leave PSG? There's talks about him he's happily to stay in Paris.
He doesn't, but he would be open to a Chelsea move, and there's clear negotiations are going on. So
he's in the same boat as the Kounde thing, really, aren't we? In the same scenario when you think about it. Because apparently he wants Barcelona over Chelsea. But
it's his former manager, though. Like, Kimpembe, I think, can be easily attracted towards Chelsea in a matter of days, in my opinion. I think it's a bit more difficult for Kounde.
Winter Services, Jem Pies is right. All Sevilla has to do is wait for Barca lever later this week, and Kounde will choose Kounde will choose them if they can stamp up the right offer. But my point is this: if Sevilla are asking for 50 or 60 million, whatever it is that they're asking for, sterling, and we go and put that out tomorrow, and Kounde. Look, if Kounde wants Chelsea and Chelsea lay the money, why is he gonna? He's not gonna go to then Seville. Well, actually, let's wait. Let's wait for Barcelona to come back and see if they can match it, because I want to go. He'll just say, "I want to go Chelsea. They've given you what you wanted. Let's just tie it up now. I'm not going Barca. I'm going Chelsea." Like, he can force it. I get the whole bargain thing and Sevilla trying to, get money, as much money out of this as possible. But if the player says, "Look, this is where I want to go," ultimately he knows where he wants to play. Whether it's Chelsea or Barcelona, he has a favourite. It's the same. It feels like the same scenario as the Rafinha thing for me at the moment. It feels ultimately the same scenario as the Rafinha thing. Other than he wanted Barcelona, and we laid the money that Barcelona really struggled to lay up to that point. I think this time round, I actually think he wants us, but we're just not laying the money.
Has Kounde really had a decision to make though? Because as I said, we was the only club in for him. Of course, he's going to want Chelsea, but now Barca, and he might want to go to Barca.
Yeah,
like it's not.
You're right. You're right. Look, at the end of the day, it could be the case that Barcelona bid more than we do and they get him. Fine, it is what it is. But then again, it just goes back to what I'm saying. If we just do our bit like we did with Rafinha and put it out there, then I'm pretty sure we'll be testing the waters from their side to see whether it's accepted pretty quickly and it's moved forward. Or if it ain't and they go for this bidding more, then we'll have to see. We'll have to see if Barcelona.
We're gonna know. We're gonna know in the next, I'd say, 3 days on what's happening in the centre backs.
Barcelona want Bernardo Silva, which is going to cost them 60 million.
That's only if they sold De Jong, though. They were going to use the De Jong money.
Yeah, but they're not selling him, are they? I don't think he's going. It doesn't
well,
look like
they're trying to push him out, but he doesn't want to go.
Yeah, so they want Kounde. They've got Rafinha. They've just got to sign Lewandowski for 50 million. They've got who else they got? Who are they signing? They've got Dembele back on the contract. Yeah, like how are they signing 5, 6, 7 players? I don't get it. Like it comes a point where they just.
I always said this, bro. I always said this, bro. It's Barca. They're the same as Real Madrid. Like no one knows where they get this money from. No one really knows what these economic levers and TV sales rights are. But the facts are, they are starting to register players. They've just spent a bomb on Lewandowski. They managed to do Rafinha, and if they really want Kounde, which Xavi wants, they will put the money on. I'm telling you now, they will put the money on the table next week. I guarantee it. Because Barca, as much as they faff around, they do eventually get stuff done. And they're in the similar boat to us. Xavi's a new manager as such. They want to back Xavi. We want to back Tuchel. So let's see. Maybe Chelsea just decide to go all in on Kimpembe. Who knows? Maybe they bid for both, and he chooses one of them. We'll just have to see. I'm just like.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I said this about Rafinha, bro. I was just saying. I said people were like, "Oh, Pice, they're not going to be able to afford Rafinha." I was like, "Bro, it's Barca. They'll do it somehow. Like he wants to go there. They'll find some. They're dodgy, bro. You know what I mean?
What are you guys talking about? Kounde has a release clause. Pay that he's as. If
no one's paying 69 million, bro.
I don't think no one is. Nah, that's the issue. If someone activates the release clause, then yeah, you're right. He's gone. I don't think anyone's going to do that. And maybe Pies is right. Maybe Chelsea bid 60 million and then they go, well, actually, we're going to wait. And then Barcelona come back and give 62.5 million and Chelsea go, nah, I'm not doing it anymore. And he goes, maybe that's what's going to happen. I don't know. I just feel that if we do our bit now, why they've not got, we don't know when that lever, does anyone know when that lever kicks in? I think anyone does.
It's next week.
Supposedly it's next week, yeah?
Yeah, it's next week, yeah.
Kimpembe, yeah, we're getting to Kimpembe next. Apparently, he's brought out some more news on him. All right, we'll look at it in a second. But
I don't think
yeah, Chelsea, go and lay the money and test the waters. Do the same thing as Rafinha, and we'll see what happens. But it's going to be interesting to see. Ben Jacobs obviously says Chelsea will have more Kimpembe and Jules Kounde talks next week. Terms not a guarantee with Kimpembe, who is settled in Paris. Gaultier has told Kimpembe it's his decision, even if the fees agreed. Chelsea currently viewing PSG's 50 million price tag as too high. So if that's too much to Chelsea, how are they spending 50, 60 million on Kounde?
Well, maybe it's because if we view Kimpembe as too much, maybe we're trying to get both, and we want to pay. Well, we know we'll have to pay more. Yeah. So say we pulled out for Kounde, we would probably spend 45, 50 million on Kimpembe. But if we're trying to get both, of course, you can't spend 50 million on fucking him and 60 million on Kounde, 40 on Kula. But you know what I mean? Like
the fan base would pull their hair out. We spend too much money on defenders. What are we doing? You know what I mean?
Well, judging on last night, I mean, to be honest with you, the attack was atrocious, bro. We need some bloody attackers. Jesus.
I didn't see it, but Werner did score, so maybe it's redemption.
He missed the first chance, tapped in the second one. Most typical Werner goal you'll ever see. If you've not watched it, go watch the highlights.
Yeah, that's all right. Big week ahead of negotiations with Chelsea, who understand whether Kimpembe can be got closer to the market value realistic of a deal. Kimpembe is intrigued by a Chelsea move more so than Juventus, but Goya has made it clear that he's not surplus to requirements at PSG. So basically, they still want him. Jules Kounde transfer all depends on Sevilla, who are hoping for a bidding more, which is what players are saying.
Told you that.
Chelsea have actually never walked away, but also reluctant to pay the 69 million. And I don't think Barcelona will as well, release clause or close. Barcelona and others are circling too, but Chelsea's last trip to Sevilla didn't provide a breakthrough. Kounde's come frustrated. His future is still unclear and wants it resolved before the month is out. Thomas Tuchel does not really want Kounde, but it's arguably a more complicated negotiation. Oh, sorry. Thomas Tuchel does really want Kounde, but it's arguably a more complicated negotiation now than when the window opened due to the increased interest. Further clarity expected. Yeah, goes back to what players are saying, which now I've just read that because this is the first time I've probably read it. But they're looking at Sevilla as a bidding war, aren't they? Because they're even at the beginning, there was no one other than Chelsea that wanted him. And they would have just probably got an agreement with Chelsea, providing Chelsea got a little bit closer to that release clause. But now they know that Barcelona are going to have all that money coming in soon. Maybe they're going to wait and see what Barcelona are doing.
It's like it's of any club. Look at Armando Broja with Chelsea. I know we've not made a decision yet, but Everton, West Ham, Newcastle, probably other clubs want him. Look, I mean, it was reliably reported that West Ham put a 25 million bid down the other day. You know why we haven't replied or probably rejected it? It's because we know we could get a potential bidding war. It's just a negotiation process. So Sevilla will wait it out if they want to.
Of course they will. Fucking knobheads, Sevilla. Like winding me up. But at the same time,
it's business, isn't it?
It is. But we've at the same time we've took too long ourselves on things. So I get it to a degree, but they're just
the one thing though about Todd Boehly is like he doesn't, he's not really been messing about, has he? Like Juventus wanted to wait for De Ligt, they wanted to wait for Bayern. Todd Boehly went, nah, screw that. You're asking for this. Bye bye. We're going to get someone else, and that's what I think. Like I just don't see us signing both. I can't see it. I feel like we'll choose one of them, and it will be for a price that Todd Boehly wants to pay. And whoever that is, we'll find out.
Well, we have got a poll out at the moment. I mean, the question is, if we only had to sign one centre back, who do you want? At the moment, we're sitting at 52% saying Kounde, or 51% saying Kounde, and 49% of people are saying Kimpembe. So we'll be keeping our eyes out this week. It is going to be deadline for both, I think, Kimpembe and Kounde in terms of who we end up getting or going for. It could be the case that we get both, which would be great. It could be the case that we don't get none, which could happen. Or it could be the case that we get one of them. So it is still up in the air. And unfortunately, there's not much more other than what we know is that it's going into next week. So let's see what happens. And hopefully we, I'm staying quietly confident that we can get Kounde. But, we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. But let's go on to... Maybe I'm hoping more than anything, players. But anyway, let's move on to.
You're like these Colwill guys that are like, I'm hoping he's gonna stay. Like you want him that badly. They want him that badly in the squad. It's like, how likely is it? I don't know. Maybe
I'm so used to being let down. Anyway, I wanted Haaland over Lukaku. I ended up getting Lukaku.
I think our problem is that clearly under Tuchel, he's not as high up on the list. Like, that's clear. Like, for me, I don't think he's bothered if we get him, but fans are definitely bothered because, maybe, we want him. So,
you know what I mean? We want him. We know more than Tuchel, bruv. Come on. We're the fans. We know exactly what he needs. Still over 700 of you guys here. Big up to every single one of you guys, but make sure we get these likes up. We're only sitting on Chelsea Fan TV with 154 likes. Over 300 on the dot of you guys here. So let's get this over 200 likes there. GNA TV side.
Merchant.
Is that what someone just said? I'll read it in a second. GNA TV side, we got 375 of you guys here. Let's get this over 200 likes, man. Come on, we've only got 105 likes. Hit that thumb, guys. Hit the thumb if you haven't done already. Let's get these up. Who said I'm a Kounde? Where is this? Come on. Don't do this, guys. Where are you?
Chelsea all the way. Jem is a Kounde merchant.
Who's Jem? The one fucking sitting here hosting to you, mate. That's who's Jem. James, where? I can't see that.
Chelsea all the way. It's 2 comments above the who is Jem one. It says Jem is a Kounde merchant.
Tim is a
There you go.
Kounde merchant. Okay, good one, guys, good one. Yes, I've not been very quiet in making it clear that I want this player 100%, but we need to move on to other players, and one of them being Mr. Kimpembe, who was talking about earlier on. Obviously, Chelsea and Paris, PSG are in direct talks for the player of around 60 million euros, 65 million euros, but Chelsea are prepared to work to submit a bid of around 45 to 50 million, work in progress. Kimpembe is part of the PSG project still, apparently, but he can leave in case of a good proposal. So basically, if he wants to go, then he can go, but at the same time, Chelsea, I don't think Chelsea are going to get him for 45 to 50 million by the looks of it. I mean, it'd be great business if we can, but
It's
I
not
don't think so. I
euros
mean,
though, isn't it? What's that?
yeah,
About
yeah,
60 million euros is 51 million quid, I think.
yeah. So it's about
So
31, 30,
45 million euros would be about 39 million.
yeah,
50
yeah.
million euros would be about
47, 41,
45, 45. No,
40,
about 40, 43, something like that.
yeah,
43
yeah,
million. So we're
yeah.
preparing to offer between 39 and 43 million. They essentially want 50 million. So for me, I think this one gets done with add-ons because that's not even that much apart, and that's our first proposal. That's probably already gone in, by the way, over the weekend, and it's probably going to be negotiated next week, I guess.
No, you're confident on this one, though, aren't you? You think it's going to happen? That's what I say to you. What do you think
I
about
think so, yeah.
Kimpembe as a player?
I,
So tell
I, I
me.
I think he's good, bro. I think he is good. I think sometimes he has a few lapses in concentration, but he's very good. He's insane on the ball. I think he had the best passing accuracy in the whole of Europe last season. I think. Um,
He did. He did.
he's he's a bit of a warrior, bro. He's a bit of a fighter. He's a bit of a leader. He's had very good performances in the Champions League. And it's perfect for Tuchel, bro. Like this is what I mean. This is Tuchel's guy. So, um, I think this one gets done. I think he'll be a Chelsea player by next week.
If we get him, do you think we will start looking at wing backs? Like, if we don't obviously get Kounde, say Kounde goes Barca, we get Kimpembe. What do you think will be the next thing for Chelsea?
Um, this one's difficult again because I think I still think we need another attacker, and all the reporting was he wants two attackers, but I think that right winger, he also wants him to play sort of right wing back as well. But if you look at our starting formation, because obviously we're going to use a 3-4-3. I was saying this earlier.
Hmm.
Sterling and Mount are going to play most of the games, so we may buy someone that's I don't know, kind of cheaper. Like I don't know. We tried to buy Gnabry, didn't we? I'm not sure it's going to be like a big name now though, because we've missed out on Rafinha and Gnabry. So I'm not sure. Maybe he just buys like another versatile forward, or maybe we sign a number 9 because obviously, I know Havertz. For me, I don't rely on him in front of goal still. Um, yeah, and bro, I don't know if he's gonna stay. I still feel like bro, he's gonna leave somehow. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I can't see him staying for me personally, but we'll
Why would we
see.
get rid of him then? That makes no sense. You've only got Kai Havertz. You have no out and out number
It's
9.
money,
Who
isn't
else
it,
is
bro?
going to play?
It's
It doesn't
money.
matter.
He wants
You're wasting the
starts.
squad.
He wants starts. All
Yeah,
these young guys want starts, apart from Ampadu. Um,
but he can
Gallagher.
rotate, can't he? If it means by I think they
Colwill can
forget that
rotate. He doesn't want to rotate, bro. They want to progress
bro,
their career.
we're in
This is.
4 competitions, man. We're in
I
4
know,
competitions.
but,
These guys,
but
it's not like these guys are going to be sitting on the bench and getting one game. Like
I
they're
know,
going to get games.
but they don't want to play the FA Cups and the Carabao Cups, bro. They want to play Premier League. We saw that
They could
last
be
season.
playing Premier League. Last season, how many injuries did we have? We had to call on people.
Yeah,
Like it might get to that case again. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. I don't think personally they think of circumstantial stuff. I think they want guarantees right from pre-season, bro.
why is this going to
That's
be
how
a
it is.
baby oil merchant? What the fuck is that, Dominic?
He's talking about Adama Traore. It's going to be the
All right.
baby oil merchant.
All right. Oh, all right. Sorry, I thought you were saying Pies is a baby oil merchant. I
I
was like,
know.
why
He's
is he a
talking
baby
about
oil
Adama, I
merchant?
think. Yeah, I mean, he was on the list last summer, wasn't he?
I
Yeah,
don't think he did. I
he's
mean,
been
what
out
was
on
it?
loan at
20 million?
Barca.
How much is he at the
Huh?
moment? 20 million, I heard. Apparently, you can get him for 20 million.
Yeah, like 15, 20 million. I mean,
Is he worth it?
He would be something at right wing back. I'm telling you that now. Like, imagine Koulibaly, Reece James, and Adama. Oh my god, no one
You
would,
ain't-
bro. That would just be that would be intimidating. Oh, one of them's bad enough in terms of intimidation, but Jesus, yeah, I don't know, bro. I still feel like we need a striker for me personally.
I don't know if there's anyone out there though, Pies. That's the problem.
No, I
There's not
don't.
many
It's
people out
hard.
there.
It's hard.
Who are we going
It
to
is
get?
hard.
Lewandowski's gone, and Kunku's staying for another couple of seasons. Like,
We need
are you
something.
going to?
We need more. We it, we need a striker and a creator realistically, but we're not going to get both. We need someone that can score, but also like be a bit creative. Like I thought Ericsson would have been a great shot for us, but obviously we didn't go for him. Obviously, Dybala was offered to us. Apparently, someone from the Guardian said that. Apparently, we rejected that. So I don't know. It's very very hard. Maybe there's just a random name that comes out, and hopefully it's
We
good
should. What
scouting.
happened to this Klaus guy? I thought we had him, and then he's Marseille, and then apparently we're still. I
Yeah,
don't know.
but he's just right wing back depth. I feel like Tuchel wants someone that can play right wing and right wing back. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, Kimpembe is an interesting one. Pies feels like it may get done. My thoughts on it quickly is that someone asked me earlier. I didn't answer the question, but they said to me, "What do I think Chelsea will do? Do I think that they'll put 2 bids forwards for both for Kounde and
Oh,
Kimpembe?"
we have some Kounde news, Jim. We
Don't
have
do
some
this to me.
Kounde news
My heart's going.
from Massi Moretto. It says Sevilla is waiting for an official offer from Chelsea. It will arrive in the coming days. It will not reach 65 million euro of the starting price, including variable. Barca still in the race, although today it does not intend to spend that amount on Kounde. Very
Yeah.
interesting.
I don't. How good is Matty Moretta though? I don't even know how good he is.
He's pretty good for Spanish stuff. Yeah, he's from Relevo, so they're like they're the only Spanish source I actually listen to be honest with you.
There you go, guys. Breaking news for you there. Piers has dropped it for us. Relevo, Mate Moretto has came out with this comment here. Sevilla is waiting for an official offer from Chelsea for Kounde, which will arrive in the coming days. So Chelsea are going to put a bid forward. It will not reach the 65 million euros of the starting price, including
I
that
wonder
bit
what
don't
we're
make
going to
sense.
offer them. Okay,
What
so
does that
hang on,
mean?
what's 60?
See,
Oh right,
it will
so
not
okay,
be.
so that is 55 million pounds. So that's what Sevilla want, and it's saying it will not be that. So I wonder what we're going to bid.
We're going to bid more.
No, it will not reach 55 million. So
Oh,
it will
not
be
reach. So
it will be less.
But then it says, what I don't
It-
get, it says it will not reach this, including variables.
so including add-ons. So
Yeah,
even
include add-ons.
it wouldn't be.
It would be 65 million euros, including add-ons, is what they're saying, which is what Sevilla want. Right? Is that what you're saying? So it's going to be
So
less.
essentially, Sevilla would want perhaps 50 million plus 5 million add-ons. They're saying it's not going to reach. Basically, it's not going to reach 55 million. Yeah, someone put there. Maybe we bid like 45 or something.
Not going to accept that though. Why are we doing that? Why would we do that?
Yeah.
Why, why are we fucking around? We've been going back and forwards, trying to negotiate this Kounde thing 3 or 4 times. Ben Jacobs said we went down there and had 3 negotiations with him and ended up coming back. Like, surely we know where the meeting point is now. Like, just get it. If you're either going to do it or you're not going to do it or don't do it. That's my thing. Just like stop putting these stupid offers in. Like, are they maybe testing the waters here and going low because they're worried about Barcelona? Maybe they feel that if they go in a bit too high, Barcelona might do them and they won't be able to counter react. I don't know. Maybe this is where the poker game begins, Pies, for Kounde.
Yeah.
Go in a bit lower, wait and see if Barca do anything else. That offer will stay on the table. Barca come back and then outbid that, and we go, well, actually, we've still got a bit of reservation. We've got a bit here, and then bang. I don't know. Maybe we do that. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be a game of poker now for Jules Kounde. Could be. But he's saying Barca is still in the race, although today it does not intend to spend that amount. So how can they be in the race if they don't want to spend that?
Well, because as of today, so when they get their leaver next week, maybe they'll. I don't know. Yeah.
That doesn't make sense, does it? But anyway, we move. While people saying Klaus on Raw, what's going on here? All right, cool. See if Kounde forces the move. Yeah, potentially that's the other option. You got Sevilla director seems the worse than Napoli director. Sevilla keeps. Do you know what surprised me? We was banging on about Koulibaly being a hard deal to be done because of Napoli, but it's pretty easy, wasn't it? We had no problem there. Varner says, think smart, Jim. this guy's not coming, is he? He's not leaving. I don't think he's popped up again, but he
Yeah,
ain't going anywhere.
he's no, he just arrived from, I think, Kiev, Dynamo Kiev last season. So yeah, they put a stupid price tag on him. He'll definitely leave in
Right.
the future, but not now.
There you go, guys. There's your little bit of breaking on Kounde news. So Chelsea will be putting in a bid. Let's wait and see what that is. It could be as early as tomorrow. It's going to be interesting to see what happens moving forward with that. Guys, make sure you're smashing the likes. Let's get this over 200 likes on both channels, please. There's only 118 likes on GNA TV. Come on, let's get these likes up, guys. Let's close that gap to 200 likes. 181 likes on the Chelsea Fan TV side as well.
We should give him Colwill.
Who?
Just give him Colwill or Saar, Chelsea.
What, for Kounde?
Yeah, just bye-bye with cash.
Ain't
if he wants to go.
Wasn't some of the Barca journos that Gerard Romero said that they're going to lay some cash and give a player, one of their players?
I don't think they want. In all seriousness, I think they just want cash because I think the thing is they owe money to Bordeaux as well. So this is why they want so much money because they owe a certain amount back to Bordeaux. I think.
Yeah. All right, interesting stuff. All right, we're going to move away quickly from transfers now. If anything does break in between that, we will bring it up and go through it. But we're going to just quickly talk about yesterday and this, actually, was just quite interesting from the Secret Scout. Basically, he says, if factors involving Amari's move to Chelsea. I mean, have you seen a lot of this boy from Arsenal, guys?
He's
Do you know much about
him?
Yeah, I saw the two goals that he scored against Chelsea as well. They were pretty impressive. So
you know what? Can I just say, I have a story about this guy. So YouTube years ago, he did a video with F2 freestylers. I think it was it was back in 2015, and I remember watching it, and I thought this kid looks unreal. And so he did an intro, and it was like Amari Hutchinson, Arsenal, and then it was like background music of him doing skills and shit. And I was like, this kid looks unreal. Fast forward, like a few years later, he's playing for Chelsea. Like, what the hell? It was just this random kid on YouTube. Yeah, bro. F2 Freestars did a video of him in 2015. I thought, this kid looks unreal. I remember watching it on my iPad, like, when I was younger. I was playing for Chelsea. So
yeah. I watched a bit of him. He's very good on his left foot, very quick, very good dribbler. Balance-wise is impressive. So, yeah, I'd be interested to see the growth of this player. A player that Arsenal fans are shocked at left, to be honest, as well. Depth of attackers in his position. And then so factors involving Amari's move to Chelsea, depth of attackers in his position, obviously Pepe, Saka, Nelson. AFC's decision to sign 19-year-old Marquinhos, who is similar, lack of youth taken on pre-season tours, and then Kevin Batsy's departure, who had a good rapport for him. So he just basically that's fair enough, to be fair. He's come over to the blue side, wants to impress. Again, we don't really give players the biggest of chances, unfortunately. But, if you're good enough, you will get your chance. But, it's going to be interesting. And this is where we're going to go on to Ampadu, because Tuchel said, I think the position in the back three is a good position for Ifan. He played plenty of forward passes, was very active. I think he played a good game. Do you think Thomas Tuchel may look at Ampadu as one of the central back options, which may stop Chelsea buying too? Or do you think
if we buy, so say we buy Kimpembe and Kounde, you'd probably maybe, I think all three of them would start, which meant Silva would get a lot more rest, which would actually be brilliant for us, in my opinion. So you'd probably have Kimpembe, Koulibaly, Kounde, and then you'd have. So that's where you've got to decide who is then the left centre back backup. Would it be Ampadu? Would it be Colwill? Because Silva would then be the second centre back backup. So who would you then keep if Chalobah's on the right? Would you keep Colwill or would you keep Ampadu? Or would you just keep Ampadu anyway? Because for me, like, he can play in so many different positions. Just keep him in the squad. And he clearly doesn't care about, obviously everyone cares about his game time, but like he was saying, like, I just want to be on the pitch. I'll help out wherever. Tuchel will surely love this flexibility in the squad. Chalobah as well, bro. Like, yeah, I remember, I think there was a story of Tuchel asking Chalobah his position. Chalobah said, well, ideally I play here, but I can play here, here, here. And Tuchel liked that. So the fact that Ampadu is so versatile, for me, he has to stay whoever we sign.
You're right. And
someone mentioned Malang Sarr. Jesus, I hope he goes on loan.
Don't do this. Don't do this, guys. Big up to Chelsea database in the houses. Kimpembe, Kounde would mean a back three forever, mainly right. Do you think the signings of these type of centre-backs confirm that it's a back three moving forward? Or do you feel that he will utilise different systems? So you don't think he'll switch from a 4 to a 3 and like do what he did last season with the players he's got?
Not as often as I would like. I think, buying so many centre backs, bro. Like saying this, like if you buy Kimpembe and Kounde, like you've got, Koulibaly and Silva that would start, and then you've got Kimpembe and Kounde, which are probably 90 to 100 million overall, just sitting on the bench. Ampadu, as well, Chalobah. Like it just doesn't. The amount of centre backs we're signing doesn't make sense for a back four.
Yeah, that will definitely piss off a lot of Chelsea fans on Twitter that only see the 4 working. Apparently, if we play the 4, that's the only system that's going to work and allow Chelsea to become successful again. Apparently, so we'll have to see what happens. Have to see what happens with what Tuchel does as well. Ethan Ampadu, that's a funny one. I like that. Guys, still over 650 of you here. Big up to every single one of you. I think Ampadu should be given an opportunity. Again, I wasn't sold on him coming and being. I wasn't too sure about the whole DM thing, which is what people were arguing a lot about. But then when I think about it more and more, the versatility of the player, the options, all the headaches we went through because we didn't have the squad depth, or we didn't have the versatile players available, only makes sense to have someone like Ampadu in the team. So, I think Ampadu staying on, along with this guy who we're going to get to next quickly. Again, a lot of people felt he can only play one position. Some others said, how do you fit this guy in? Where does he play? Is he going to be a waste? What we're going to do with him? He only fits in the back 4. And Piers, you watched the game yesterday of Conor Gallagher. I saw some clips and some comps of him and these performances yesterday. So what was your thoughts of him in the 6 role?
It was all right, but again, I saw a lot of fans getting very, very ahead of themselves. It's just one game, but like Ampadu, he looked good. He looked decent on the ball, although Gallagher did pass it off the pitch once when he got put under pressure. I think he can play there. I'm not too sure in the Premier League, bro. Like I just think it is such a demanding position. Defensively, like he's not a defensive player. And he could be more like, Jorginho could sit and then Gallagher could go forward, but you've got Kovacic, Kante. I think it would be good to keep in the squad. I like him. I like his mentality. He'd definitely be a good asset off the bench in the last 15 to 20 minutes. I know that for sure. He did look like a bit of a Kante regen in terms of like just his energy was mad. He should have had an assist as well. He nicked the ball in midfield and played through Havertz through on goal, and he missed. But yeah, he played all right. I just I want to see more. I want to see more of him. I want to see more of Ampadu against better team. Unfortunately, we're playing Charlotte, which is probably they're MLS. They're probably even worse than Club America. But Udinese and Arsenal, I'd like to see them play against those if we could, because that would give you a more true reflection, I think, of where these guys are at in terms of where they can play in the squad and things.
I think Conor Gallagher's going to get a lot of games this season. I think Tuchel likes him a lot, actually. I think he probably likes him a lot more than people actually know. And it'll be good to see throughout this season how he utilises him. Does he use him as a 6? Does he play him a bit more forward? What does he do with him? Does he find another role for him? I don't know. But ultimately, again, he's another player who's putting his head down. Had a very good season at Palace, as we know, putting his head down and is, just getting on with it and doing what's required to try and, get in his team. He's already said he wants to play for Chelsea. He's going to be here for this season. I think we need him. I think he's a very good option for Chelsea. What I saw yesterday, which was quite impressive with him, is with his ability to sort of drop his shoulder when the ball's coming to him and sort of roll a player quite quickly and then sort of look up and move the ball quickly forward and things like that, especially when he was under pressure as well. So he's picking the ball up from deep and he's got the ability to able to like sort of get himself out of positions which can be an issue. And you're right. It's still very early doors. We shouldn't get over the top about this player, but I think he's got a good chance to really shine. To be honest, Conor Gallagher, I think he's got a good chance to really show us what he's about this season, and I'm looking forward to seeing his impact in the team. And he can cross, mate. He's got a good cross on him. I noticed. Like he will have. Remember when I said to you from midfield, we're like we haven't got that player that can like be an assister, that can like create for people from deep. If we use him as a 6, I think he could create. I think he could create for the people in front of him. Like I think he's got that like eye for that last pass in, and now whether he can do it consistently, yet to be seen. But I do think we've got a very good player there in Conor Gallagher, and we'll have to see what happens. I think Brower will stay. I think Gallagher will stay. I think Ampadu will stay. And ultimately, if Colwill, I think Tuchel probably wants to keep round. But if he doesn't feel like he's gonna get time, he's gonna go. And maybe we sell him with a buyback clause. I don't know. It's typical Chelsea style. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. But unfortunately, Tuchel's got a hard job. He's got all this talent around and in only 11 places or 22 places in the squad. So some don't want to just be in the squad. Some want to be playing ultimately all the time. But I've just seen something that made me laugh, actually. I had a comment come in about Man United's interest for Hakim Ziyech. Yeah, Manchester United have joined AC Milan in the race for Hakim Ziyech, with Eric Ten Hag targeting
That's
a
a
player
bad
with
source.
Yeah, I don't know how
It's
good
quite
that
a bad
source is.
source. That's
Is
quite
it
bad.
really?
Yeah, it's not a good Italian source, unfortunately.
Okay, well, in that case, that completely scrappers anything of that one, but it is there.
Might be
Um, I'm,
true, but just generally they're not great to Masai.
you know what's been really funny this window is Chelsea and Barcelona have come to heads like, a couple times now on players and whatever, and I find it interesting, like just reading, because I never really noticed Barca or Barca journos or the Barca fans really until more now, because every time we talk about a player, it's like tagging Chelsea and whatever. But that is it Rishad Rahman, that guy that always tags like Gerard Romero's sort of comment.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I always like just reading his comments and tweets about players, like, and just seeing what he thinks about certain things. It's just good to know what Barcelona fans think about like their window, and if they think they're going to get a player or they're not. But they always seem so confident on like just getting the job done. I mean, I don't blame them. They're Barcelona, do you know what I mean? I get it, but they don't seem to be that worried or phased about what's going on with their football club, or or what's happened to their football club recently. They just seem to think that they're just going to be able to just buy everyone and get everyone. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know. I just find them very funny, to be honest. I was just reading into them earlier. I just find them very funny. Very funny, especially some of the ones that I've seen, like the lower journos from Barca that are sitting there like saying, Kounde done deal, fucking 50 million plus add-ons or something like that to be announced next week. I just found that very funny, man. But anyway, guys, any questions that you've got in the chat, get them in now. Get your questions in now, whether it's either super chats on GNA TV or Chelsea Fan TV. Get your questions in. We will wrap this up with some of your questions being answered quickly. And yeah, I mean, Pies, I mean, you're looking forward to next season, mate? It's not far now, is it? Not far.
I don't know. I still feel like we need some more players in, but yeah, I'm always looking forward to watching Chelsea play, I guess. Last night the second half was better. The first half was a bit boring, but yeah, the second half was better.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. You're right. I think we are going to sign more players. Looking at where we are in the transfer window, do you think, how many players do you think? Because at the beginning we thought 5 or 6 players. Maybe that could still be the case. Maybe not. How many more players do you see Chelsea getting?
I think we'll get 3 more. I think.
You think
So I
we're going to
think
get 3?
I'm not sure whether it will be 2 centre backs and a forward, but if it's 1 centre back, then I reckon 1 forward and maybe a wing back or a backup goalie potentially, because I still think Kepa might leave, but
Yeah,
obviously depending on his wages and things like that. But I don't know. He seemed pretty happy around the camp lately, so who knows? It's quite hard to predict really, because circumstances, like, it doesn't seem like we're going to sell many forwards. Ziyech's talks still ongoing, but kind of stalled lately. Broja, Tuchel needs to watch him. Obviously, he's been injured, so yeah, it doesn't seem like Werner, Pulisic are going to go. You know what's interesting actually is the left wing back, because Chilwell was definitely rusty last night. And again, a lot of reactionary takes. You know, he's finished, he's washed, things like that. But it is something to keep an eye on. Just watch, because if he's not, if I mean, even if he's half the player, like you've only got Emerson, because I do expect Alonso to move to Barca. You've only really got Emerson there before you start playing forwards at wing backs again. So yeah, maybe that's something to look at later on in the window.
Guys, who do you think we will sign? Do you think we'll sign someone by the end of this week? Yes, I do.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
I mean we signed 2 last week, bro. You got to remember as well is that we're going to sign players next week because we've got matches, we've got stuff to play for, and obviously as well. One thing I want to mention, I was mentioning this the other day. So Sterling came in. I think he trained on Tuesday. We had a game on Sunday morning or Saturday for them. That's what, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's about 4 or 5 days training, and he
Yeah.
still didn't play any minutes. Koulibaly is arrived on the weekend. We've got a game on Wednesday or Thursday. So these players need to get in, get through the door, get to US, build up fitness before we even think about putting them on the pitch. That's why we need to sign players fast, and that's why I feel like we will, because you know Sterling had all that time to train, a good 4 or 5 days, and he didn't even play. So yeah, I'm not sure whether Koulibaly's going to play next week, to be honest, in the Charlotte game.
Well, apparently they're fit. That's what I read anyway. Apparently they are fit and ready to go. Maybe Tuchel's just not rushing them at the moment. So it is only one game at the moment, so we'll have
This
to
was
see.
from the other day, right? This was. I think he
Was
just
it?
retweeted it. Yeah, this was from the other day. He
Why did he
retweeted
retweet
it.
it for?
I don't know.
Chelsea are we working on signing with the deal driven by the situations to keep an eye on? All right, so maybe they know something. They've just retweeted it. I don't know.
It's
We'll have
not
to see what
Ali. It's not the. Oh, okay. Nathan just put true to the offer coming in a few days. So there you go,
so
Jim.
it is true, yeah.
Yeah, apparently. So what happens?
Money, fucking minerals. That's what that is. That's minerals, mate. Let's have it right. Any chance we'll buy Nunes? I don't think so. Who knows? But I don't think so. Nunes from Sporting. Nah, I don't think so, mate. There was the talks about it, but I don't think it will happen. Kounde and Kimpembe wrapped by next week. Hopefully, at least Kimpembe is what we've got here. Does anyone know how to watch the full matches if we can't catch the Charlotte FC game live? Probably just go full matches. I don't know, mate. See, I just watch highlights, to be honest.
Yeah, there is a. I forgot the website now. Fuck, it's like the. If you do you have a Twitter, bro? If you do, then message me. My DMs are open, and I'll try and get you a link.
Yeah, just straight. Pies is Twitter is literally at CFC Pies. You can go and follow him over there, guys, as well. Do you want to see Cho loaned out to a Palace, etc., to be starting every game this season?
No.
TV. He looks a little bit. I want again. Some people do you not feel that he holds himself back a bit still? Like, do you not feel like he's not that he could just be so much more progressive and direct, but
He
sometimes he
does,
just
definitely, yeah. No,
I
I
just don't
noticed that
do it.
last night. He does,
Right.
yeah.
I,
He needs to
that's
go
a
on more runs and dribbles and things, but
But that's his strengths. I don't know why he don't play to his strengths. It's just weird. I don't get. We'll see anyway this season more of it. But Ben Godfrey's a top player. Potentially, we've seen that, seen it. Just trying to see if there's any other questions. I think they want to announce a new signing for each place in pre-season. Sterling, LA, Cooley, Vegas. Good point. Orlando's next, isn't it? So maybe we get someone for the Orlando trip. Is there anything else here before we finish off? So many comments here. Fifth stand up is what Winter Surfer's saying. Cho is done, injury affected. He's plays what Gabriel's saying. Do you think we need Ronaldo Hellbliming though? No. It's just a straight no. Yeah, no, there's not much to it really, mate. It's one of them ones, isn't it? It's like we've got so much to happen this week, so much to report on, talk on. And we're now waiting for Chelsea to act in the window. When they do, which they will do, and I'm sure we'll have news to share. We will be back to share that or air it. Hopefully, it isn't when it's 38 degrees in England, which is tomorrow and Tuesday, but it may be so. If so, might have to do a later stream covering these scenarios, talking about them as well. Kennedy, what about Kennedy? Kennedy didn't have a bad game yesterday, did he? He done quite well, to be fair.
He was all right in the first half. He went on a mad little Ronaldinho run and won a foul, but he was playing right wing back, bro. It was quite fun. He nearly scored a screamer, actually. He nearly scored a screamer.
Kennedy redemption season, maybe. Who knows, mate? Maybe. But what about Batshuayi, man? What is he doing in this team still? I don't get it.
I don't know, bro. He was. He just looked so lost last night.
All he does is shoot, doesn't he? Literally, all he thinks when he gets the ball is just shoot.
Yeah, he had 3 shots, and then he had a one-on-one where he's offside, and he still missed it. He put it past the post. I was just like, "Jeez, man, fair enough."
Yeah. Big up to Ethan Jemper. Big up KX No Filter Football. Make sure you check him out on there as well. Pies, before we finish off, any last thoughts, and where can people find you, mate? Let them know about your podcast as well.
Yeah, so I just done a Koulibaly special with Marco Messina, who's a Serie A analysis for CBS Sports. So yeah, I have a podcast, CFC 365 podcast on Spotify. Got a few episodes on there. Hopefully going to get some more people on about transfers and things, although a lot of the journalists are out in US at the moment, so it's kind of been held back. It's a bit annoying, but then just my Twitter and website, chelseafc365.com, articles and things like that on there. All that good stuff.
Jem, any DOF news? No. Bowley's just at the wheel, bruv. That's all I'm saying. Bowley's at the wheel.
Bowley's moving mad. Yeah. I tell you what, that Bedad Egbali, he looks like Roman 2.0, doesn't he? See the picture of him. He's proper cool, isn't he? He is. He's no slick, smiles, no anything like that.
Ben Jacobs is back on Wednesday at 12 o'clock on the show as well. So GNA TV, Chelsea Fan TV, make sure you're back here 12 o'clock. Hopefully by then, we may have a player or two or one or none. Who knows? But yeah, he will be there, and hopefully we'll be able to get some more insight, especially on this central back sagas at Chelsea at the moment with the Koundes and the Kimpembes to go through as well. So make sure that you're around for that show. Then before you leave, get the likes up, smash the hell out of the likes, leave a comment below as well. Leave a comment below in regards to what we spoke today. Give us your thoughts and feelings as well. Are you confident that Chelsea will get one centre back or two? And if so, who is it? If it's just one, who is it that you feel that they will get? Let us know in the comment boxes below. I'll be back, like I said, Wednesday. Ben Jacobs from Harry Potter. I'll be back on Wednesday with Ben Jacobs. But like I said, if anything breaks before that, Monday or Tuesday, we will be back again to share and go through all of that with you guys. Well, over 600 of you guys here on this one. Big up to every single one of you. Enjoy it the rest of your evening. Be safe. And we'll be back again very, very soon. See you later.